everyone, welcome back to my channel, a channel in which we make everyday lifestyle changes for a happy, healthier life. I'm back. If you guys, today's topic, we're going to talk about something that is pretty emotional. So this is kind of emotional for me. Story time. I wanted to breastfeed this time, like I really wanted to, which is funny because prior to having my first child, I really didn't want to breastfeed. Like I was like, not for me, like I just can't see myself doing it. As soon as I had my first child, I immediately that was just natural. Like all I wanted to do was just breastfeed her. And when she was first born, she had a little bit of jaundice, and so they wanted a supplement. So I supplemented formula, and I wasn't producing anything, like nothing. I wasn't producing anything or enough. It was a lot of work, and I just was giving her formula anyways, and so I was like, whatever, we went strictly to formula. So I don't think I lasted, I think I might have lasted like a month with my first child when I did, when I was trying to breastfeed. This time around, I need to stop touching the table because it's making noises and shaking the camera. So this time around, I decided I really, really wanted to breastfeed. And a lot of it was kind of more selfish reasons on why I wanted to breastfeed. And so I'll get into that. But breastfeeding for mothers is really healthy for the mom. It's really good for the mom to be breastfeeding. And that's what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to breastfeed. When I first started breastfeeding, I knew I wasn't producing very much. The very first weekend that we had our new baby, she ended up with jaundice, and we had to rush back to the hospital because it was pretty bad. And so we were supplementing a lot, but I was also pumping because we really didn't want me to dry up and stop producing. So I wasn't producing very much at all, like not very much at all. And so my daughter's pediatrician actually prescribed me some medicine to help me produce. And this medicine, he's like, I can't give you too much of it. It's not very good for you. Like, it's got long-term side effects to it. But if this doesn't work, then nothing's gonna work. And so I was like, okay. So I'm sitting here and I'm taking this medicine. You're supposed to take it 3 times a day with each meal. And I'm pumping at the hospital, and we're trying to get our daughter, she's in underneath the lights, and she's trying to get better. And then we're doing, like, finally she gets better, and I go home, and I'm taking everything. I'm trying everything. I've got vitamins, I've got tea, I've got cookies, and I'm taking this medicine, and the most that I'm able to get is about 3 ounces, which that's both breasts. Like that's as much as I'm able to get. And it was disheartening. Well, I was still gonna try. I was still going to keep going. And then I ran out of my medicine. I didn't have any medicine left. The cookies helped the most out of everything. And I was still only getting at most maybe 3 ounces, 1 to 3 ounces. It's nothing. Like my daughter was already eating 3 ounces each feeding, let alone me producing that much for each feeding. And so I went back to the doctor on my 6-week appointment. I went to my doctor, and everything's going okay. And I actually had a lot of postpartum problems, which I don't know if some of it was because of everything going on and whatnot, or my age could have been a factor because I am 35. I'm seen as geriatric in my age to be having kids. I don't know if that had something to do with it. I have no idea why I had such postpartum issues, but so I asked my doctor, and I tell her, I pretty much want to know if it's even beneficial for either of us at this point, because she's only maybe getting an ounce to maybe, if we're lucky, 3 ounces, which was very rare on what I was producing. And I'm only producing that much. So am I getting a benefit? Is she getting any sort of benefit? Because she's supplementing. I mean, she was almost up to 5 ounces per feeding that by then. Like, is she really gaining anything? Am I gaining anything? Is there any real point to it? Because I was back to work by this time, at least part days, because we were still working from home, but I'm an essential employee to the point, and we were kind of going back to work. So my work was allowing me to be home half the day for my daughter. So I'm sitting here going, like, I'm going to work, I'm spending about 20 minutes, and I'm only producing an ounce of breast milk, and my daughter's eating 3 to 5 ounces by now. She says to me, well, let's get you a prescription. And I'm thinking maybe it's something different than what the pediatrician gave me. She orders me a prescription to help with the breastfeeding. She goes, if this doesn't work, nothing's going to work. So I'm like, okay. And it turns out it's the same exact prescription, but it was for a different duration. So thinking to myself, it's not healthy for long term. And so I figured I'd just try starting it again and see if it does any difference for the next week or so. And if it does do something different, then I'll keep using it. If it doesn't, it's doing the same thing, I'll just play it by ear. I really, really wanted to breastfeed. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it is because I can't even explain it. For somebody, maybe I 100% don't think I'm the only one, because my pediatrician, he is flat out said, you know, to my significant other, like, you can't tell him otherwise. Like, it's not a big deal. Formula's great. Formula works. Don't understand why you're upset. Like, they know that it means so much to the mother to be able to feed their child, and I don't know why that is, but it was just really hard on me when I couldn't do that for my child. Like, what's wrong with me? What is wrong with me that I'm unable to feed my own baby? And yeah, we have formula now, and so children don't starve to death, but all I could think of is, like, if I didn't live in this day and age, you know. So I ended up I kept trying, kept doing it, kept taking the cookies, kept taking the tea, kept taking the vitamins, kept taking the medicine, and I just couldn't do it anymore. I really wasn't producing anything more. What I would do in the middle of the night is I would sit there and I'd feed her on both sides, and that would take like half an hour, and she would fall asleep pretty much while I was feeding her, and then I'd have to feed her a bottle on top of that. So I would be up for a good 45 minutes to an hour trying to feed her enough for the night, in the middle of the night at like 12 to 2 in the morning. And sometimes I would be pretty much up at 4 or 5 in the morning. So I was literally getting like 3 hours to 4 hours of sleep at night trying to just breastfeed, and it was pointless at the end, because I was only giving her a fraction of what she was getting overall. So I finally decided, after about 2 months, I was like, I'm done. And I think what kind of hurt me, like, baby's fine, she was gaining weight. She's doing great. She's on par with everybody else. Like, she's doing fine. Health has been off since then, and since postpartum period, and I've had a lot of postpartum issues, which I may or may not get into. It could be because of my age. I don't think it's because I stopped breastfeeding, because I did that with my first child, but mentally it kind of hurt a lot because I didn't get that bonding anymore with my child. I didn't get to hold her and snuggle with her while she was eating, and it made me really sad and really upset sometimes that we weren't getting that anymore. And I'm fine now in regards to it, and I really do wish I could have continued to feed her. I wish I would have produced. And I've seen, you know, memes, or not memes, I couldn't say memes. I've seen where people make comments on Facebook and whatnot, and they're like saying stuff about, you know, pretending you're pregnant and thinking it's a joke, and then those mothers who can't have children. So when you see, like, it's not funny for those mothers who can't have children and things like that. Like, I understand how they felt, and I normally am just kind of whatever. Like, if I'm not somebody, I'm not somebody else. I'm never going to be another person. This is who I am. I like doing certain things doesn't come naturally to me. I don't have a natural talent other than like one. Natural talent is just goofy in and of itself, and so I don't come by things naturally. It takes a lot of work for me. Like, a lot of different things take a lot of work for me. And the one thing that should be natural is being a mom for most women, and that's also not exactly me. Like, that's not going to be me. I apparently am not meant to have a huge brood of kids, which is fine because I don't want a huge brood of kids. And so when somebody posts something and it looks like something that comes naturally, it normally doesn't bug me, because one, that's like what is it called, something real. Like, it's the cream of the crop. Like, they're not showing you all the crappy things that happen in their life. They're posting the best. And so I don't get so upset when I see somebody rejoicing. I rejoice with them. That's awesome. I'm happy for them, because that's them. They can have that in their life, and I'm happy for them. And just like when I do something and I post it, I'm happy, and so I'm posting that happiness. And so I don't ever normally get jealous or get annoyed by somebody's post. But the other day somebody posted how much milk they produced, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, that hurt. That hurt a lot more than I thought it would, because it's not natural for me. Like, that's not what happened with me. I wasn't able to produce. Like, all I can think of is like all I could think of was like, what is wrong with me that I can't do that naturally? I couldn't even do it with medicine, which is even sadder if you really think about it. But that aside, like, I shouldn't be upset by that. That person should be so happy about that, and that's great for them. But, you know, it's done. Like, I can't go back in time and make my body do something it doesn't want to do. And my baby's doing great, and she's healthy and she's happy. I do get a little bit annoyed when people are like, are you breastfeeding or are you just bottle feeding? And I want to be like, well, this is the way I am. I am genuinely, I tried. I really did try, I really tried to breastfeed. That's all I wanted to do. So I'm bottle feeding, and it's great. And the thing is I don't mind it that people ask me. I do the same thing to other people. I don't know. It's a conversation starter. That's what moms do with other moms. Are you breastfeeding? Are you bottle feeding? Do you use Huggies? Do you use Pampers? Like, it's just conversation that people do with each other. Is they ask each other. That's what moms do. One of them happens to be, are you breastfeeding? Are you formula feeding? What kind of formula do you use? Do you use this? Do you use that? You know, and so, oh, if you need a certain formula, go here. That's just how we talk to each other, how humans talk to each other. So that's what's been going on, honestly. A little short intern, but a lot of other crazy things, of course. Everybody knows about a lot of the crazy things. Maybe go into it the next video. And maybe you'll get to meet someone special. Till next time though, you guys, thank you for watching. If you subscribe, you'll get to see some of the videos that talk about more postpartum issues, some stuff I'm working on. Different things are going on because of the whole C word. And next time. And thanks for watching.